And you stop me when the people them come out of the bus. 21-41-4. No name back. Here. You can't look out of your face.
Welcome to Jamaica Dancehall Source News and Entertainment with a Buzz. What you just saw is an interaction between a police and a minibus man, driver of public passenger vehicle. Now, people, not to make any sorts of excuses for these persons because, say, taxi man, minibus man, JUTC man, they're about the most reckless drivers on the face of the earth in Jamaica. So we know, say, they are out there pissing off these police officers. Sometimes these police officers seems as if they are given basket to carry water. Impossible task. That is the point that I am trying to make. However, the rules and the laws are steadfast. As a public official, that is a police, people can videotape you, whatever interaction. If you know that you are doing nothing wrong, then you should allow that person to videotape you because it is a law and you're a law officer. So this person came out, don't know the circumstances to which he pulled over this minibus man. Maybe the minibus man was driving recklessly upon the road, so that already pissed off the police officer. So when the police officer pull him over, the last thing that the police officer wants is any sorts of lippings. So in other words, he might have initiated, not to say that what the policeman did is justified, but he might have initiated the whole thing. And like them say, a soft word, turn it away wrath, grievous words, stir up anger. Don't know what caused the anger in this policeman. He acted in a manner that was not professional. However, when you're dealing with a bag of vagabonds, sometimes it is going to push you over the edge. Am I saying that it is justified? No. However, like them always say, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And sometimes you do not get the reaction that you deserve dependent on how you act. Your reaction that caused that reaction. Not to say that it is justified, but you get the point. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called, is it coincidence or is it a curse? A couple of days ago, MP Darrell Vaz from Portland was doing an interview, a newscast, when he said that a lot of the crimes that are being perpetuated in Portland of lately is caused by persons that are importee or deportee. Importee means people from other place in Jamaica. Deportee means persons that were overseas get deported back to Jamaica because mostly of criminal activities, and when them land back on the land, they are creating all sorts of chaos. I want you to take a listen, take a look at exactly what Mr. Vaz has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
Not accustomed to drive-by shootings, and we have had 2 in the last few days. We have been accustomed to being the safest parish for decades, and we have lost that position. I want to ask you the question, what has changed in Portland in recent months? And the truth of the matter, we have seen an influx of importees and deportees. And I'm calling on the police high command tonight and the Minister of National Security. Flush them out and flush them out quick, no matter who they are.
Now, people, the truth and the fact is that what Mr. Vaz said, some of it is true. However, some of the serious crimes that are being perpetuated in Portland is caused by people that actually live there, such as Beachy Stouts. You know that he is responsible for the taking away of at least 2 of his wives. One of them he was recently convicted and given time for. The next serious crime is a man named Bugsy. Yes, Bugsy was taken out in a very brutal way. But Bugsy was also somebody that is a resident, a known businessman / double life that he live. So that means that the lifestyle that he lives, he was not an importee and he was definitely not a deportee. Might have been, not sure, don't quote me on that. But those were a couple of very serious crimes. We saw a next crime that was committed by some Haitians importee deportee are people that transplant from a next country. We saw that they are also involved in the guns for drugs trade. So when you look at it, most of these persons that lose them life is either indirectly or directly because of guns for drugs, because of criminal activity. Most of the crimes that are being perpetuated is because of persons, choppers transplanting from one place. However, it is persons that actually live in a Portland that are bringing in people that are business partner, business gone wrong, and everything goes way, way left. So yes, importees, yes, deportees are also going there, but it is 50-50. Fast forward, less than a day ago, 12 something to be specific, 12 p.m., at the intersection of Orange Street and Haywood Street, where a man, a conductor for a bus, he was juk up by a man who is a driver of a bus. Based on information, it is said that it seems as if they had some sorts of problem prior. There was an argument. The conductor was on one bus. The next person, the driver of that bus, blocked that bus. Both persons, conductor from one bus and driver from the next bus, were in a heated argument. It escalated to physical. The driver of one bus wheel and pop off a knife, shoot the next one in chest, run away, take away himself on foot, left the bus and everybody right there. Based on the information, it is confirmed that that man was deported back in about 2012, June to be specific. So people will see the deportees, the importees are creating chaos and catastrophe on top of the regular people them were already there. So therefore, it is an overwhelming amount of crime by importee, deportee, and locals alike. Point blank and period.
Oi, come man, we a chop out your foot there, man.
We have to kill him, man.
They can't save your pussy.
Oi. Oi. Who you sell jelly? Who you sell jelly?
One lady out there, sir.
Who?
What's your name?
Sasha.
You sell Sasha jelly?
Yeah, she a carrying.
So you thief jelly go sell Sasha?
No, man, I thief, I'm my uncle place.
Stop in eyes. Stop
No,
in.
man, I'm my uncle, I'm my sister place, man.
Stop in eyes.
Come.
Come now. That's it.
So I said,
Come, man, come.
Come now.
no, man, but me can't stand up around here, because me alone around here. Somebody with me, I'm not make them come, you know.
Eh?
Sheila sent somebody with me, I'm not make them come.
What make?
Me can't take them, man, because them don't hide me time.
Watch it,
So me want to turn and go out there.
Come tell we truth.
I shoot me, I tell them, man.
Come tell we
You
truth.
know, say if you just kill him, bomb
No,
buckler.
man, you can't do that, man.
What you say?
You can't do that, man. I don't joke there, man. I'm my brother, I'm his uncle place, you know. My sister place, man.
Who for place? Hold on. Who for place over there, so?
Some different people see them over there.
What their name?
Then him,
Yeah, who for land that over there, so?
some different people.
Who for land? Who for land?
One lady up at top hill, one lady up there, so.
What's your name? Miss Etty.
Yeah.
So what you do over here, so?
Over here, sir, see.
So, hold on. Over there, sir, for who?
Over there, sir, one different somebody. Up there, sir.
Your son of fear.
Yeah, man, you over here, sir. For
Over there,
sister.
sir, for Miss Etty. Over there, sir, for Miss Madge.
No, man.
Over here, sir.
I don't for Miss Madge over there, sir.
Over here, sir, for Nigel them.
Nigel, no, man.
Come.
Place up there, sir, man.
Oi, come down.
Come. We have chop off your foot then. We have chop off your
You
foot
have to
then.
chop off your foot,
No,
them, you know.
man, you can't do me that.
What if for me? I think slight.
Yo! Lord Jesus. Oh, do me that, man. Yo!
The video that you saw at the start of this is of a man. Obviously, him no 100. Not to say that him a madman should have walk and kick stone. But you saw that he went on a thieving campaign on some people property. Thieving jelly of all things. We saw that persons that are associated with the property knows who the rightful owners are, buck up on him, and he was caught in a very bad predicament, high up in the tree, maybe about 20, 30 feet or so, don't quote me on that. But we saw that the persons that caught him, they were just joking, they were just jeering. We've seen persons, news article in which person got thief Aki, get locked up, get all sorts of prison time by the judge. We've seen cases, predial thieves get catched by the owner of them and the people in the community, and you know the outcome. They were sent to the afterlife, justifiably so. Now, people, when it comes to thieves, you have to assess and analyze each situation differently. Serious crime calls for serious punishment. Sometimes Tarzan, Jane, and the little monkey. However, in circumstances like this, when you see a little man, not to justify, because little thieving sometimes ends up in a big thieving. Sometimes persons are just caught in a desperate situation between a rock and a hard place. So I don't think that people like this supposed to lose them life or even get any sorts of clotting, royal clottings. Well, again, people like me say, it is just my opinion. Sometimes you have to kind of nip it in the bud. So therefore, it won't escalate to worse crimes. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is that we see that the government of Jamaica, specifically your Prime Minister, your MPs, your parliamentarians are shaking in their boots. And that is after Secretary of State for the United States, Mr. Marco Rubio, he said that he's going to place visa restrictions on nations such as Jamaica, Caribbean, CARICOM nations that are hiring health workers, specifically doctors, nurses, assistants, coming to the country and are being exploited for low pay, low wages. Now, people, when you look at the history of United States and Cuba, we say United States is carrying feelings. When you look at the recent governments, including Mr. Trump and his friends, we see that they think that they are the dictators. They have no longer become the police of the world police. They are now the big bad bullies of the world. And they are trying to tell poor nations such as Jamaica, third world nations and other nations what they should do, how they should operate their business. Now, the last time that I checked, most of these nations that they are threatening are sovereign nations. That means that they don't have any sorts of allegiance. Yes, they might be friends of the United States, but they make their decisions independently of the United States. So whatever they do, it is in the best interest of their country, not in the best interest of the United States that it seems as if is carrying belly for Cuba. Because when you listen to this, is the United States really concerned about Cuba's problem, or are they trying to restrict Cuba by restricting other nations? That means they put some sorts of work tariff upon the nation. I think that that is the reason why they are doing what they are doing. So anyways, it seems as if the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Dr. Keith Raleigh, he has some balls, some spine, some intestinal fortitude. And he said that he recently came from the United States, California, to be specific. And if the United States think that they can put visa restriction on him or his nation, he does not care about any sorts of visa. People, take a listen, take a look to exactly what this man has to say, and then I'll give my piece.
We rely a lot for our healthcare delivery on certain specialists who over the decades we have obtained from India, from the Philippines, sometimes from Africa, and mainly from Cuba. Out of the blue now we are being called human traffickers because we hire technical people who we pay top dollar equal to local rates, but we are now being accused of taking part in the program where people are being exploited. That's somebody's interpretation. And of course, there are local people here encouraging them to take away our US visas. I just came back from California, and if I never again in my life, I will ensure that the sovereignty of Trinidad and Tobago is known to its people and respected by all.
Now, people, when we think about a prime minister like this, like I said, intestinal fortitude, stand up for something, like they say, if you stand for nothing, you will fall for anything. And it seems as if The government of Jamaica that has not responded as yet through the Minister of Health, through the Prime Minister. They are supposed to be having some high-level meeting today. And Mr. Dr. Christopher Tufton came out and said that he will address the situation very, very soon. Well, people, we saw that Dr. Raleigh, him run out as soon as him hear that. However, we see that the government of Jamaica, and maybe it makes sense, maybe they are not going to act on emotion, is having big level meetings. This is what the problem is when it comes to Trinidad and Tobago. Financially, yes, they are better than Jamaica because they are more better managed than Jamaica. In other words, the thief rate is not as substantial as Jamaica. So therefore, Jamaica is broke. Jamaica, whenever they are in any sort of negotiation, they go in it with their too long hand. They have nothing to offer. Them want grant, them want loan, so that they can also squander it on top of the billions or trillions that they have already squandered. So when you go in a relationship and you're workless and you don't bring anything to the table, you pretty much have zero say whenever you are licky-licky, which Jamaica is. So we see the difference with the Prime Minister, the leaders of countries with spinal, intestinal fortitude, backbones and balls versus nations such as Jamaica that lack thereof. People, I don't know what they are going to say. However, whatever they are going to say, they are going to tread very lightly. They are going to make sure whatever they say is politically correct and appease United States, which is their slave master, which have them on a puppet, like a puppet on a string. So people, like me say, you're going to hear a response that is going to be carefully orchestrated so that they won't tick off their bully bad brothers. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news is based on that video that I've been making its round on social media. It is said to have taken place on Monday. Monday was yesterday. Is it Monday of 2025? Don't know. However, the message is going to be the same. Even if it is not Jamaica, it is coming to a theater or playing at a theater near you. So what we saw, a big, thick, elderly man walking with a bag in his hand. Don't know if he had came from Western Union or MoneyGram or one of those places. No evidence to substantiate those claims. However, he was walking, and the younger man behind him, smaller in a body, in a structure, was walking beside him, just waiting for the opportune time to grab that bag out of that man's hand and take for himself. We saw that he was going in one direction, then we saw that he ran back in the next direction. No sorts of audio given in that video. What this speaks is volume of the barefacedness. How these little thief can see one big strapped-in man and does feel like he still has the advantage. I guess age is a strength. So he saw the man walking, whether it was money, whether it was his bag, whether whatever the circumstances are, that man should never have been robbed. Him grab the bag, pull the bag out of the man and overpower the man, lick down the man and then went the opposite direction, out of sight, out of mind. Moral of the story is this: whenever you live in any sort of jungle-like environment, please treat it that way or else you'll be taken advantage of. Please be on your P's and Q's. Have your eye in the back of your head. Don't be caught slipping or else you will be a victim of your goods or even worser of your life. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. Bless up.